Mario, Luigi, Princess. Jeez. There are so many iconic characters in the. Oh my. Okay, you know what? Fine. Let's see how fast you can touch a toad in every Mario game, starting with the original Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Alright, so in this game, toads appear at the end of each of the first 7 worlds. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't remember the last time I played this game without just using the warp zones to go straight to World 8. So I haven't seen these toads in a while. With that in mind, I'm just gonna make my way normally through World 1-1 and World 1-2, making sure to exit the pipe normally here to get to World 1-3. Now, all we have to do is make it across some tall trees here. Well, this is embarrassing, but once we're done with that, all that's left to do is speed through World 1-4 and take out Bowser, which gives us access to this room over here where we can touch this toad. Oh. Alright, let's see if the Lost Levels has the same problem. But first, can we take a moment to talk about why this game is so hard for absolutely no reason? Like, to even get a mushroom, I have to either break it out of a maximum security prison or try to save it from jumping into a pit. Anyways, after a bunch of oopsies and conducting some research over on MarioWiki.com, I finally made my way to the end of World 1. So let's just head to the right here, and yep, looks like we got another toad with boundaries. Next up, we've got the Mario 2 game that I grew up with, and this is an interesting one because we can actually play as Toad. Unfortunately though, I won't be counting any self-touching in this challenge. And with no other toads in the game, we have no choice but to move on to Super Mario Bros. 3, where I know for sure there are toads we can touch. After quickly making our way through World 1-1 and World 1-2, let's head into World 1-3. And look, I know this is supposed to be a speed run, but I just couldn't help myself. I had to stop to do this. But after that, we can finish up World 1-3 and head into this house here where we can finally touch our first toad. Onto Super Mario Land, where again, we'll quickly speed through World 1-1, 1-2, and all the way past this fire-breathing lion to finish up World 1, where we can encounter a... Oh, that's not a toad. Alright, on to mobile gaming break. I'm currently playing Mario Kart Tour on my brand new Red Magic 9S Pro. Thank you, Red Magic, for sponsoring this video. So let's just go ahead and touch this toad real quick while we're here. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Nintendo's 2 mobile Mario games, but let me tell you a little bit about the latest and most advanced Red Magic gaming phone. First of all, this thing is an absolute tank. It's got dual 1115K speakers, 120 Hz display at 2480 by 1116 resolution, 16 gigs of RAM, and one anime girl. But yeah, anyways, we've also got customizable CPU and GPU settings to handle any game, scaling all the way up to Diablo mode. And if you ever want to play on a bigger screen, you can easily connect to your monitor or TV, grab your favorite Bluetooth controller, sit back, and game, all while still being able to use your phone normally. Red Magic 9S Pro is available now, so use my link in the description to learn more at redmagic.gg. Now back to touching toads with Super Mario World. Okay, so I don't know what happened in this era of Mario games, but it seems like Nintendo just completely forgot toads existed. Not a single toad appears in the entirety of Super Mario World or even its related animated TV series. And if you're wondering why, well, Toad himself actually talked about it in a UK issue of Nintendo's official magazine, saying Yoshi stole his spot and he resented him for years as a result, even spiraling into a deep depression afterwards. Oof. but Nintendo's got a chance to redeem themselves with Super Mario Land 2. So let's just cruise through the intro level here and head up to the tree zone, where a little way into the first stage we can... Oh, wait, that's just an actual toad. You know what? I'm gonna count it. Okay, on to Super Mario 64, where we finally get our familiar Toad friends back. All we have to do is head into this castle here, and after some dialogue talking about how no one's here, we can immediately disprove that by touching this toad. Alright, Super Mario Sunshine. This is another quick one. Right away, we can just jump on this elderly toad here. Over to New Super Mario Bros., where after smashing our way through World 1-1 and spinning our way through World 1-2, a house suddenly spawns from the ground, so let's go check it out. Oh, didn't expect to see you again. Anyways, next up we've got Super Mario Galaxy, and this one is interesting because we can actually touch a toad before even playing the game, but for consistency's sake, let's say that this doesn't count because we're not controlling Mario yet. Once we do gain control though, there are plenty of toads to touch right away. Alright, so while New Super Mario Bros. Wii is similar to the original New Super Mario Bros., one cool feature this one added is co-op multiplayer. So let's just head into World 1-1 and touch this toad. Over to Super Mario Galaxy 2, which has the same Toad file select icon as the first game, but again, we're not going to be counting any premature touching, so let's head into the game where, again, there's a bunch of toads right away, but it doesn't look like we're actually making contact, so let's continue on just a little further where we can bump into this toad here. What do you guys think is the world record for most consecutive toad head bounces? Onto the 3DS now with Super Mario 3D Land. There's no toads in the beginning of this one, so let's just put on our raccoon onesie and flutter our way through World 1-1, zoom past some spiky balls and sludgy piranha plants in 1-2, then skydive down World 1-3 until we eventually reach this house here that we'll just casually break into and jump on its owner's head real quick. Next we've got New Super Mario Bros. 2, which does not have playable toads, so let's get moving through World 1-1 and then just absolutely demolish World 1-2 so we can enter this... Oh, I guess they heard about the guy who's been breaking and entering into toad houses lately. But that's okay, we'll just head into World 1-3, collect a couple more star coins, then head into this fancy greenhouse where after a quick countdown, we can go ahead and touch this toad. Over to New Super Mario Bros. U, which brings back the playable toads. So you know what that means. Similar deal as Super Mario 3D World. Let's just grab a friend and start a new game where we don't even need to enter a level to touch our toad pal here. Okay, that's gotta be some kind of a record. On to Super Mario Odyssey, and we're back to the old-fashioned style of toad touching with this one. So let's quickly speedrun through Cap Kingdom, beat up on this small rabbit man, then zipline over to Cascade Kingdom. Now we just need to navigate through some difficult enemies and make our way up to the top, where we'll take out Big Bertha over here. With her out of the way, all that's left to do is teleport back up to the top. Wait, this is the wrong place. Teleport back up to the top, where we can drop down the side here to find a very sneaky toad. Alright, next up is Bowser's Fury, and the thing about this game is that while there are toads, they don't appear until you've beaten the game. But you know, it's been a while since I played this. Maybe it won't take that long. Oh. Well, we better get started then. Okay, so in order to beat the main story of this game, we'll need